Personal branding is a superpower for everyone, not just CEOs, not just influencers, but for yourself. It's how people perceive you and the story they tell about you when you're not in the room. Ever wanted to be recognized and trusted, but didn't know how to stand out? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Silvera Sessions. Today is a big episode. We're going to be talking about personal rebranding and what personal rebranding and branding can do for yourself. If you're new here, my name is DJ Silvera. I'm a DJ, content creator, entrepreneur, businesswoman, and if you're back from another episode, thank you for coming back, and let's get into this episode. So first, what is personal branding? So personal branding is not just logos, the Instagram aesthetic, or your resume as a person. It's more than that. It's your reputation, it's your voice, it's your style, your values, and what kind of impact that you want to bring to this world. Picture your life as a movie. And you know, with every movie that you see in the movie theaters, there's always a trailer. Your personal brand is that trailer. Once you start thinking of it like that, you kind of understand that any trailer to a movie is kind of like a sneak peek of what you're going to get out of a movie, a full movie. So think of your personal brand as that trailer. And a personal brand really sets first impressions and expectations to people to see what exactly you're going to offer them and what you actually do as a person and how you can value them in the long run. The second thing I want to touch on is why personal branding is a superpower. There are three main reasons why personal branding is a superpower. 1, it creates opportunities. 2, it builds trust and credibility. And 3, it amplifies influence. When it comes to creating opportunities, people tend to gravitate towards you if they know what you stand for. So really showing your audience what you stand for is so important so that they can build that trust with you and kind of build a connection with you as a person. Once you get that personal branding down pat, you no longer have to chase opportunities as hard. They will start naturally flowing towards you, and you'll be able to get opportunities that you've been dreaming of. When it comes to building trust and credibility with personal branding can really show consistency. And consistency really shows reliability. If you're consistent with anything that you're doing, whether it's the content output or just your branding, the overall look of your branding, if you're consistent with everything that you're doing, it shows that you are showing up, not just for your audience, but for yourself. And brands and your audience like that. They connect with you more when you're consistently putting out content or consistently showing up for yourself. Having that personal brand as your superpower can amplify influence. This can mean that you are every day, whether you know it or not, you're inspiring and motivating others to do what you're doing or to pursue passions that they're trying to pursue. There have been countless times that I've gotten DMs, messages, people saying that, oh my God, like if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have taken this step, and you've taught me so many things that I didn't know, and like you push me every day and motivate me to keep going. And it's such a powerful thing to hear, because that's what influencers should be doing. They're influencing and motivating people to pursue their passions. And I think that's such an important thing when it comes to building your personal brand. And that's what makes you super powerful once you hone in on your personal brand. When it comes to my journey building my personal brand, it was kind of all over the place, and I eventually had to sit down and figure out exactly who I am as a person and what I want to offer to the world as a person. As you know, on my last video, I talked about how I started TikTok and I started doing outfit of the day videos, food reviews, concerts, traveling, etc. I eventually started DJing on TikTok and was just documenting my journey as a whole. From that, I wasn't expecting any following. I was just kind of doing it to document my journey and see my progression as a DJ. From me documenting my journey, people really connected with what I was doing. They connected with my story, with my journey as a DJ. They've seen me from day one when I just started and kept following me since then. They've seen how far I've come and how far I've grown. From just posting my DJing journey, opportunities started flowing to me so naturally, whether it was DJ gigs that I've been dreaming of and traveling to DJ, opportunities with sponsors and collaborations. Like, those are such big things that can happen by making your personal brand so easy to follow. This is just to say that documenting your story, documenting your journey can result in you discovering your personal brand and building out your personal brand and understanding who you are, so your audience can understand who you are as a person, and opportunities will start flowing naturally to you as well, and you'll learn lessons along the way and be able to develop as a person. Okay, now we're going to get into how to build your personal brand. This is the juicy bits of the conversation. Okay, so there are 5 steps that we are going to follow today to build your personal brand. So make sure you grab a pen, paper, or your notepad, whatever you're writing on, and write these steps down, okay? So first step is we're going to define your story. Sit down and reflect with yourself, and we're going to find out who you are, what you stand for, and what do you want to be known for. Those are the key things that we're going to figure out to define your story. After you have defined your story, we're going to go into step 2. The second step that we're going to focus on is being consistent. Be consistent with posting, interacting on social media, collaborating with people on social media, because all of those things are key aspects for more people to see who you are and what you do. Some people are afraid, I find, to post too frequently, but if you don't post enough, people aren't going to know who you are. If you post once a month, people aren't going to understand your story. People aren't going to recognize you and become aware of who you are as a person and what you're offering to them. There's going to be that disconnect between you and an audience, and it'll be hard for you to build your own audience at that rate. Step 3 is to show up authentically. Share your wins and share your struggles. You want to be real with your audience. Nothing in life is perfect, so why should you pretend to be perfect to your audience? It doesn't really make sense, because at the end of the day, everyone has flaws and everyone makes mistakes and everyone learns lessons. So you should share those lessons so other people don't make the same mistakes as you. Being vulnerable really builds a connection, because people then have something to relate to, because you're not the only person that has made a mistake in life or made that specific mistake that you made. There's so many people that make mistakes in life. Like the other day, for example, I went to a DJ gig. I recorded my set but forgot to record my audio. So I posted that on social media saying, oh my goodness, I forgot to press record on my audio, but I had such a good set. You know how many people related or could relate to that scenario? So many people. I can't just always show that I have the best DJ sets ever and that I get everything perfect every time I record a set, because no, it's not the reality of things. The reality of things are some things go wrong. There's technical issues. There are always learning lessons whenever it comes to anything in life. So you just want to be transparent and authentic when it comes to building your brand. Step 4, create content that reflects you. Everything that you put out is your personal billboard, whether it's videos, reels, posts, stories, anything like that. All of that is your personal digital billboard where people can see exactly who you are as a person, what you put out, what kind of content you like to put out, and see if it's someone that they can resonate with. If you're putting out content that's a little risque and not up to your standards as a person and your values as a person, people won't be able to connect with you and they'll be able to see through that content that you're putting out. So make sure you're putting out content that reflects to you as a person and your values as a person. And make sure it's content that you're proud of, because at the end of the day, you want to be proud of your work. Passion rules over just anything. So anyone can see that if anyone can see that you're passionate about something, they're going to take you so much more serious than if you're just putting out content to put out random content. And lastly, step 5, network with intention. Your personal brand doesn't just exist online. It also exists offline too, and your day-to-day life of who you're interacting with. Try to connect with people who align with your story and your goals and your visions in life, because they can help you expedite the process of what you're trying to do, because maybe they've already been through that process. You know what I mean? When I myself, as a DJ, I try my best to connect with other DJs in the city, other content creators, so that we can learn from each other and build together. Because without a team or without support, it's hard to take those next steps. You can do it by yourself, but it can be a slower process because you don't have someone who's already made the mistake that you're about to make to tell you, hey, don't do that. Hey, do it this way. Or maybe we should try this together, and you can try things out together. And building a solid network of people and building a solid circle is so important in any aspect of life. There are also some common mistakes that you should avoid when trying to build your personal brand. You cannot please everyone. There's always going to be someone that doesn't like what you put out. And at the end of the day, you have to just be okay with it, because once you're confident in yourself and what you're putting out, that won't affect you, I promise. Another mistake is copying other people. There can be inspiration. You can be inspired by people, but being authentic to yourself and authentic with what you're putting out there is so important, because that's what makes you unique at the end of the day. You don't want to be like everyone else. You want to be you. You want to be the best version of yourself. You don't want to be another this influencer, or you don't want to be known for copying someone else's style of work. Being authentic builds such more credibility to your personal brand itself and makes opportunities even greater, because people see you're doing something that no one has ever done before. The last mistake I would say is being inconsistent. Inconsistency can bring your personal brand down so much. Your personal brand at the end of the day is a muscle. You have to train it every single day, and you have to build it every single day for it to become something sustainable. If you're inconsistent, then the sustainability of that personal brand is not going to go anywhere. You have to be working on something every day to get yourself further and further every day. So make sure you stay consistent with what you're putting out and what you're taking in and retaining and learning every day. The last thing that you should recognize when it comes to building a personal brand is that there's a long-term payoff. Most brands don't build overnight. They build over a set period of time. Your brand will be building over time, and this will result in the compound effect. Just kind of like compound interest with banking or anything like that. You won't see the results or the money increase right away. Over a set period of time, whether it's days, weeks, months, years, you'll see progress eventually and get to the result that you are trying to get to, and keep on building and growing and compounding. From this growth over time, it will result in easier opportunities, natural collaborations, and a stronger influence. And overall, you're going to stop chasing that validation, because I know at the beginning, you're going to feel that need or desire to be validated, that your content is good, and that can make it scary for you to post, and that can result in inconsistency. But over time, you're going to feel more confident and more comfortable with what you're putting out there, and you won't be chasing that validation. You're going to start creating an impact and start motivating and influencing people to do what you're doing. Overall, your personal brand is your superpower, so make sure you cherish it and keep it safe. Focus on being known for your values and for your strengths. Like I said, start small, show up consistently, and share authentically. And from your personal brand being your superpower, the whole world will start recognizing your power and want to follow in your footsteps. If you liked this episode of Silvera Sessions, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm sure there's someone out there that needs help building their personal brand. If you have any questions or any thoughts, please share it in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'll see you on the next episode of Silvera Sessions. Bye.